Welcome back to another episode of Cats Cut Podcast. You're here with Christian, Justin, Bang Bang Cody Green, and a special guest here tonight, Jake Carroll.
What's up?
What is up?
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
How are we?
What are these sunglasses, bro?
Man,
I'm digging them.
The VBS, man, it's a Lego theme. So,
Oh, did you have a part to do in that?
no.
I don't believe it.
I don't.
I know. So, how's everybody doing today? How's everybody's day been?
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, you got to work. Sucks, but
Whoa, Cody.
what? Nobody likes to work.
Some people do.
Justin, do you love to work?
I mean, I'd rather work than be bored.
Well, that's true. I guess you got to.
Oh,
I don't mind to work. It just depends on what it is.
I'm just joking.
just depends on what it is.
I love work.
Just depends on what it is. If it's weed eating, I hate it with both sides of my heart.
Agreed.
Oh. Bush, more like Cat's Cute Podcast at Cody. Oh. I like the wink there, buddy.
I was winking through my glasses, but I don't think you could see it.
All right, so on today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about Jaxson Robinson committing, who we think Mark Pope's starting five is since the team's starting to round out a little bit, Kentucky baseball, how it's taking its big strides, going into the super regionals now, and we got a little bit more in store later on. So, huge get. I think it was last Wednesday, Jaxson Robinson officially pulled his name out of the NBA draft and committed to Mark Pope and the Kentucky Wildcats.
Let's go.
That's who we wanted. Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We've wanted him since day one,
Yep.
and we
When
got
he
him.
was just a young whippersnapper from
Oh,
Oklahoma.
in the womb.
In the womb.
Yeah. So
But we got him.
We got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. It's like, but when you saw the announcement that he had officially announced he's transferring to Kentucky, what was the first thing that ran through your guys' mind?
Championships.
Oh, exactly, Cody. That's what I'm saying. That's what I had too.
Yes.
Yes. What about you, Jake?
I was expecting it, to be honest with you. I figured he would eventually show up to Kentucky. From the time he decommitted, Lord, pull his name out of the draft, I figured he would go to Kentucky to begin with. And people probably don't think of it as a big deal, but it really is. It's experience that we're going to still need moving forward. Yeah, we've got a lot of experience, but the more we can get with this type of team, the better. I want to say there was a CBS that posted a way too early top 25. They've got us so far in the top 20. Honestly, if we stay in that top 20, that with the players that we have, Jaxson Robinson coming in, that could add that up. So I like it.
Solid. But you, Justin?
Man, all I could think of was we got him. I mean, I was pretty excited about it. Just to have a solid score, man. I was pretty excited about it. So
Yeah, I mean, him telling us he's gonna be playing for the University of Kentucky ran through my mind that he might play for us this year too, Justin.
Hey, it was like an excitement of we got him, excited. I was excited about it. Just looking at stats from last year, he averaged 14.2 points per game, shot 35.4% from three, and he was the Big 12 Sixth Man of the Year. I believe he's going to do great for us. I definitely believe we needed a solid scorer in the starting five, which, I mean, I know it's hard to say right now who's going to be starting for us, but overall, I think that was just a great pickup for us, and I'm glad he did withdraw from the NBA draft. I think he did need one more year before going in the draft anyway, so I think that was a good decision on his part. So yeah, sorry I wasn't thinking championship or anything like that when I seen his name come across like some of you guys, but I was just excited that hey, we got him. So yeah,
We got him.
we got him.
Yeah. When we got him, I was thinking we finally got that guy that can like the main guy that we've been missing. Because that's what I feel like Jaxson Robinson's going to be. He's going to be that guy for Kentucky next year. Because I know past few episodes we've talked, we're like, we don't really know who's going to be that star dude on the team. Like, I don't feel like he's going to be like LeBron on the 07 Cavs type, that guy, nobody else on the squad. But I feel like it's late game, it's close, and you need a big shot. He's your guy.
Yeah.
I
So-
agree
I'm
with that. I
going
like
with
that.
that.
So,
Like
yeah.
that.
So you spoke of a starting five, Justin. We'll start with you. Who do you think Mark Pope's going to roll out there?
Man, I know it's really hard to say early on right now how this team's going to gel, and I mean, they're so deep with experience and things, and I mean, it's hard to say. But if I was to say right now from the outside looking in, starting five, point guard undoubtedly is going to be Butler. Shooting guard, I would go Kobe Brea, just because I mean he is a 3-point lights out shooter. Jaxson Robinson's kind of our leader and scorer, used to the Pope system, going to be phenomenal. A power forward, I've kind of struggled with the power forward position a little bit, but I was going to go with Brandon Garrison, just somebody who can stretch the floor a little bit and has size and length at 6'11". And then the center, I've got Andrew Carr. I think he's going to provide, so many mismatches as a fifth, as your 5-man that can stretch the floor. So, and to have the size, and I mean, he's a scorer, a rebounder, he's all that, and he's going to pose some problems in the SEC. So I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be great.
Or Blake
No.
and Jake related?
No, they're not.
No. Listen, Jake is the encyclopedia of all sports. This man knows more about football, I believe. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm more of the football aficionado than basketball.
Oh,
But
big words.
That is a big word. Can you spell that for us, please? Can you
I-
can you use it again in a different sentence so we can understand fully what you meant?
Can I hear?
If
Can I?
be spelling it wrong for the rest of eternity? I'm not willing. But as far as starting five goes, I don't know that Pope's going to stick with the same five for the first few games of the season. I think he's going to mix and match, kind of try this, try that, and then by the time we get to mid-December, everybody's going to be arguing over who should start and who shouldn't start, and he'll be winning games regardless. I would agree with Justin. The only player that I feel like could make a gab for that starting five would be Krisa, based on experience. Bro's got some three-point talent as well. And he played for that Arizona team last year that was very, very top-notch. So the only player that I feel like could take that spot,
That's true.
him. Jaxson Robinson was the sixth man last year, and I don't know that he would be the one to say, I have to start. He would be a team player. If he had to be a sixth man again, I think he'd be willing to do that. I'm not saying he should, but I think he would be willing to take that role. You've got players on this Kentucky team that would be willing to do that. That's something that we've not seen since probably Darius Miller. So
Solid. That's solid. I like that. I didn't think about that comparison. What about you, Cody?
I'm gonna go. I think this is probably going to be the most fun a Kentucky fan base has had with trying to figure out the Kentucky roster. I mean, we've got so many. Like most of the time, I feel like
together, U.S. for you and me.
at anyone and any time at all
Down here in the deep blue sea. Justin.
Wow.
Okay, go back
Okay.
to what you're saying.
Okay, I was saying, most of the time I feel like when we're trying to figure out rosters, there's always that number one recruit coming in, a top five recruit, multiple top five recruits, and we're always assuming that they're going to be starters. But I think it's going to be pretty competitive when it comes down, especially to the forward position. I think it's going to be very competitive to see who. Justin, blink twice if you need help.
Oh dear gosh.
Okay,
Let's-
so I think the starting five. I think it's going to be Lamont Butler at point guard, Kobe Bray at shooting guard. I think that Jaxson Robinson is going to be the small forward. I don't know how to say his name, and the guy from FDU, is it Ansley Amonor? Is it Amonor?
Yeah.
And
Dude,
then
you can't put somebody in a starting five that you can't pronounce their names.
well,
That's why I
I
can't-
you did
just
not just
did.
say
I
that.
just did.
Dang. Can you spell it?
Can I
Can you use
spell
it in a
it?
sen- Can you use it in a sentence?
ANSLELEY.
You're reading it, bro. You're reading it. You messing it up.
I'm not reading it. I don't know what you're talking about. And then my center, I think, is probably one guy that we're not talking about enough, and Amari Williams. I
Ooh,
think is our
okay.
starting center. I don't think we're talking about him enough. I think that Andrew Carr is getting a little too much love.
Oh, you saying you
I
don't
think
deserve
that-
any?
I'm not saying he don't deserve it. I just think Amari Williams is probably a lot better defender, and I think he can probably score better than Andrew Carr. Probably not as good of a shooter as Andrew Carr, because I think Andrew Carr is probably the better shooter. But if we're going to talk about a guy being a rebounder and scoring in the post, I think you've got to go with Amari Williams. But also, I guess that depends on what team you're playing. I guess
It's
if
it.
it's
It's
a
all
more
about
physical team.
it's all about matchups. I mean, that is when you're playing. Depending on who you're playing, it's all about matchups. And then too, you think. I mean, for these guys, it's not about who's going to start. It's going to be about how many minutes per game they're going to get. So even if they come off the bench, I mean, it's going to be who's guys, which ones are on fire, which ones are outworking the other ones. So, I'd say, like Jake said, we'll probably have different starting five for these first few games, and it's just a deep team. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Now, the thing I like about this roster is that when I was going back to that, I feel like Andrew Carr's a better shooter than Amari Williams. I feel like that kind of gives us an advantage than most teams, because once you're subbing like them two out every time, it kind of confuses the defense a little bit. So, like, you got to guard Amari Williams down low, but you can't do that with Andrew Carr because he's going to shoot it on you if he gets out on the 3-point line. So I feel like you kind of have – and also I want to mention that I feel like this is probably going to be one of the best defensive teams that we've ever seen Kentucky have.
Oh, for sure.
Ever. Because the length on this team, is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, you have everybody but two people on the roster that are 6'7" and up.
I would say best defensive roster in a good long while. Or
I like that.
time. I don't know about ever.
Why
Who do
not?
Who do you think the best ever is? Because I've probably not watched as many things that you have.
As far as defense, I would either go with the 96 team that
Bulls?
everyone. Or the 96 team or probably the 78 team. As far as best defense ever, one of those two.
I was going to say the 2023 team, but that's just me, you know.
I mean, the best defense is offense.
Oh my gosh.
Defense wins championships.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does. How do you think they score the basketball on defense? Obviously.
Yeah.
If the best defense was a good offense, we wouldn't have lost to a 14 seed last year.
Or the 5 years before that.
Okay. Alrighty. So who I think is going to be the starting five this year is I was kind of in the mix. Like, I was going over between Lamont Butler because he's locked down and he's a good shooter. But then you have Kerr Krissa, who can play the point. And, I mean, he's a shooter, man. And he's got that dog in him. But I think that Kerr Krissa's energy is better off the bench. He's that guy that's like, when you see him walking up to the table to check in, like, the crowd's gonna go wow, go crazy because this dude's got that good energy with him. So I think it's gonna be Lamont Butler at the 2, like you guys have been saying. Kobe Brea. I mean, he's just been a baller. I mean, highest 3-point percentage last year. Just can shoot the lights out. Jaxson Robinson, obviously, he's going to be that dude for us. I like Andrew Carr at the 4 because he gives that ability to spread out, and he can also collapse in and get boards. And he's a decent defender as well. And then Amari Williams, I think he's going to be. I would say he's probably going to be our best offensively rounded center probably since Bam. I would say.
Since Bam, you're talking about
offensively.
2017, 2017, you're talking about the best offensive center since 2017.
Yep.
Because 2017 you had Fox, Bunk.
I'm talking
Isaiah
center.
Briscoe.
Center.
Oh, center wise.
Center.
Who was that? Who was center besides Bam that year? Did we have
case for Nick Richards?
Nick Richards, I was about to say.
I mean, he was solid, but I mean, like, just full on, like, I mean, he can spread out, he can shoot threes, he can hit the middies,
sure.
He can go inside. Like,
yeah.
I think he's just well-rounded offensively for a center, so that's why I think he's going to be our best rounded center, or
that's
best
fair.
Offensive center since Bam.
That's good.
Because, I mean, Oscar was great, and he could get any board you had, and he was decent at defense, but he just didn't have that offensive bag. Like, I mean, if he was inside, he could get the layup, he could get the offensive boards that way, putbacks. But I mean, you put him out there midi, he might hit it. I mean, don't even try to put him out there at the 3-point line, like.
Right.
So
I feel like we've not had a center that can do both sides of the ball really well in a long time, and I think the last person to do that was probably, like you said, Bam. I think Bam was probably the last player that could get down the floor and play defense, and then he could go right back and score on you.
yeah.
So
Well said.
yeah. So, also, can we talk about that? If we're doing comparisons, have you all seen the pictures of Lamont Butler with the headband?
Rondo?
And people talking about Rajon Rondo, how he looks really similar to could be Rondo .2. Now, I've not watched a lot
Point
on
two.
him, Rondo.
I got that too. I got that too.
I was waiting for you to say that.
2.0.
2.0. What's that? Brother?
He's
that,
2/10 of Rajon.
Okay.
20% of Rajon.
Special team, special player, special plays.
Oh
That's
my
what team I'm on.
Okay. All righty. We're just going to take Cody off the screen for a second. No. But continue with that comparison you were talking about, Cody.
Oh, that was it.
Oh, that was it. That's all you had.
That's all I had on him.
You got any other comparisons?
Like I said, I've not watched a lot of tape on anybody really. I mean, I feel like most Kentucky fans, the only highlight they've seen of Lamont Butler is him hitting that game winner in the Final Four. And I feel like a lot of people have not seen any highlights on any of these players unless you're just a diehard Kentucky basketball fan. So, and does anybody here know if we're doing anything like summer games, like summer scrimmages?
Nothing's been
Nothing's been said. Okay.
I know that he mentioned in his original press conference that they'd be doing, I think, the Bahamas. Or not the Bahamas.
The Maui tournament, but I think that's like at the beginning of the year, or like towards the couple games after.
I feel like that's close. I feel like it's in November or something.
Yeah.
Be doing that. He said a few other things in his initial press conference. I just can't remember all.
I mean, there's plenty of time to figure out. I mean, we've still got the whole month of June, July, August, September till basketball was really. We're not going to know a lot till probably August about how we're going to feel about the starting lineup. But I mean, I feel great. I do. A lot of people are bummed out that Cal's not there and we're not getting recruits, but I feel like this may be one of the best teams, not knowing anything about them, that we've had in a little while.
I think it's the most experienced team we've had in a while.
When do you think the last experience we had, like the best experienced team we had? Because I don't think Cal's had a very experienced team ever. And I think the closest you're going to probably get with maybe 2012 or agreed, Bush.
Exactly.
Huh?
The sport that counts and Stoops D. Talking about.
And when you're talking about the 2018-2019 team did have a little extra experience, but not enough. Not as near as much as this one. Not even close.
I mean, you look at the team we've got right now. We've got two recruits.
2 freshmen.
We've got 2 freshmen.
Right.
Everybody else is either junior or senior. Most of them super seniors.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
It's like the anti-Cal is what Mark Pope is. Like he took all of his. He can actually coach. He,
Dang.
I don't care.
Fired.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of experience. Cal University, okay. But yeah,
That's our
3 freshmen.
Man.
And they're players that want to play college basketball. That's the big plus. They're not.
Chandler. Colin Chandler's.
Oh
technically a
yeah, gosh, man, I forgot about him.
I keep thinking that he's like actually played a little bit because he's committed to BYU for 2 years.
Well, see, like I feel like we're all here. Like only people we're really hearing is Travis Perry and
Trent
Noah.
Noah.
Yeah, Trent Noah. So
Right.
kind of forget about Colin Chandler a little bit, but how do you? This is off topic just a little bit. How do you all feel, and how many minutes do you think those 3 guys will get throughout the year? And do you think that, and which one do you think will play the most out of all 3? Christian,
I think Travis Perry will get more time than Trenton Noah, I believe, just off the sheer fact he can probably shoot from anywhere on the court. I think that's going to be the thing with him. But I honestly don't think either of them will play a lot this year. But I think they'll play a lot.
But you got to think too, who's going to back up Butler at the point? I mean, I feel like Perry or Noah, either one, is going to be backing him up. This year, in my opinion, because I mean, you think.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
see 6'7", absolutely a 6.
You think we're gonna have like a baby Magic, like a white baby Magic Johnson?
That's possible.
I'm
Now,
just telling you, man. I mean, think about that. Have the size the point guard guy could shoot, distribute. I mean, who's gonna stay? I mean, who's gonna be able to guard him? I mean, and him be a 6'6", 6'7" point guard. I mean, I think I could definitely see him backing Butler up. I mean, with the rest of the roster that we have, I don't really see a lot of people backing.
I heard
being
Garrison's going to be the backup point guard, so he can stop a 6'11" point guard.
Now, I think that Trent would be a better backup for Jaxson Robinson if he's a small forward in the roster when time comes. I feel like he fits that role just a little bit better than point guard. But I do like your assumption that he could play point guard because he absolutely can play point guard, no doubt.
But one thing about Pope is he last year, I mean, he brought Jaxson Robinson off the bench. Like Jake said earlier, he was the 6th man last year. I mean, could we see somebody like a Kobe Bria come off the bench and him go for more like a defensive-minded, like starting 5 and have like Bria come off the bench and him play with Kirk Krissa, or Kirk Krissa start, have 2 smaller guards out there playing the 1 and the 2?
Mm.
I mean, there's much possibilities. Like, I mean, this team's, I'm not going to say like absolutely stacked because, I mean, you got to see him play. Like, and then you got that Owe Otega who's just an absolute dog at defense.
See, that's one guy that I've not heard
Owe.
anything about.
Watch
He's
his
one
tape.
guy. Well, see, I've not watched anything on him.
Well, after this podcast, buddy, you go hit the YouTube and you watch tape.
Well, right now my YouTube is on Cats Cut Podcast.
Ooh, getting that viewership up. You just,
Jake, what do you think?
Travis, it's really hard to tell this early. I don't see either player getting a lot of playing time with the depth that we already have on the team. It won't shock me if they both got very little playing time to start out the season, if they barely saw the floor right off the bat. That's a conversation that we probably need to wait until next year. I think both have the potential. I think if you throw them out right now, November, not right now, you know what I meant. You throw them out there in November, I think they'll struggle a little bit. But moving forward, longevity-wise, I think both of their playing times would be comparable because I don't see them going to the draft or transferring. I see both of those players being 4-year players. So it could be, this game Trent gets more, this game Travis gets more, based off of who they're playing, based off of the schemes, if they're going to go big or small, etc. So really, for me, that's too difficult to answer.
I feel like those two are going to be 3 to 4 year players. I feel like we're going to be talking a lot about them when they're probably juniors, because I feel like them two are going to probably be superstars by the time they're both juniors.
I agree.
So I like what you said about I think it's way too early to even talk about how much playing time they're going to get, because I feel like they're going to be
I'd
a
say
lot better.
48 minutes a game.
Out of the 40, that's accurate. So
I was going to say 52 minutes. But.
Double overtime.
They're leaving it on the court every game. But before we go into the Wildcats, I want to do like a slight transition into football real quick.
Sure.
Bush sent me a great stat, and it's talking about the returning players that we have on the Kentucky football roster. And this is just defensive returns. So pass defense, pass defended returning, like these are just the kids, like percentage of players returning back to Kentucky. 86% of those plays coming back to Kentucky, which is second in the SEC. Interceptions returning, 91%, number one in the SEC. Sacks returning, 82%, number one in the SEC. Tackles for loss returning, 82%, number one in the SEC. That's hot, man. Our defense is going to be so good next year, man.
I mean,
it's hard.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're talking about basketball having the best defensive team. I think that football, this is probably the best defensive team we've seen Kentucky have since probably 2018. That 2018 defense was absolutely nasty.
Yep.
But I feel like this is probably the best cornerback room we've had since, again, 2018. Because that 2018 cornerback room, I mean, we've got Justin, or who is it? What's his name? Mike Edwards, who's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Lonnie Johnson, who is a Super Bowl champion, I believe, now with the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You had, who was that other safety we had that was really good with them? It was Mike Edwards and was it Yusef Corker?
Yeah, Corker. And Corker, I want to say, was a junior at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Brandon Eccles was young and kind of in the mix with that team as well. So there's a lot of hype. I feel like everybody's really worried about the offense right now.
Yep.
Nobody not knowing how Brock is, but how Brock is and how the running back room looks. But everybody's confident on the wide receiver room. I feel like as a Kentucky fan, you can be very confident about the wide receiver room, 100%. And then the offensive line, I feel like that's always a worry about the Kentucky football team is the offensive line, because some years we could have an offensive line where the running back is going to have 200 yards a game, or we're not even going to be able to run the ball whatsoever and get sacked 30 times a game. But I think if you're a Kentucky football fan, to be very excited, even though we have a really difficult schedule. Our schedule is just absolutely terrible.
Yeah. And the defensive line's going to be insane, man. Like you're talking about that secondary. This defensive line's going to be nasty. I mean, you got Deion Walker, arguably, I ain't even arguing. This dude's the best defensive tackle in the nation.
He'll be
and then you got, oh, yeah, he'll be a top 10 pick, bro.
He's a Carolina Panther. He's a Carolina Panther.
Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Him and Derek Brown are going to be a duo in the NFL.
Yeah, for a 2-win Panthers team.
Hey, if we're a 2-win Panthers team, I don't care. As long as we get Deion Walker with Derek Brown, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's all I care.
All righty. But, I mean, on the opposite side of Deion Walker, you've got Ox and Dodd and just a plethora of different defensive tackles in there. And then you got J.J. Weaver on one side. Don't really know who's going to be on that opposite side of J.J., I'll be honest. But I know we got guys like Brian Robinson, who's going to be coming in as a freshman. I'm excited to see if he gets a lot of playing time, because there's been a lot of rave around him, like being – like I've saw comparisons. Don't know how accurate these comparisons are. But I saw some that he might have that like Myles Garrett dog in him. You know?
I wouldn't go that far.
No, they're saying like the way he can like torque his body kind of sideways and get the edge. It's kind of like
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like he has like the frame, like the way he's built and the way he can move his body around.
Yep.
Linemen.
You got, I mean, to add on, you got Keyshawn Silver, who's there. You got Trevion Rebecca, who's there, who I think is really underrated, by the way. I don't know if anybody here listening is a fan, but I love it. I think he's great.
Yeah.
And the one guy that I want to see go off this year, and I've been so disappointed the past couple of years, is Oxendine. Coming out of high school, his first year at Kentucky, his freshman year, he was phenomenal. He did great, and I think he may have got hurt. I don't know for sure. I can't remember, but he's kind of fell off a little bit, and I kind of want to see him. You know, I mean, he's a big guy. He's just as big as Dion and Keyshawn, which, by the way, them two they're massive individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like maybe Oxendine can play that other edge with JJ if he's got enough speed. And I think JJ, what I've read up on, I think he's gotten a lot quicker. I think someone said he's probably the fastest they've ever seen him. So, and that's good because I feel like we've not had a speed edge rusher since Josh Allen. I feel like we've always had that bulky power edge, and you know, I'm kind of, not to be like mean to them or anything. They're probably not going to hear this. But, I mean, I kind of sick and tired of seeing it because we can't get to the quarterback in time. We're not putting enough pressure on him. I mean, you got Dion and that defensive front doing their job and getting to him, but, the edge is just, it's so open. Like, there's nobody there to get outside and keep them in the pocket for Dion and Keyshawn and all of them to get sacks. So, I mean, I feel like if them two have gotten a lot better at getting outside and containing the quarterback to stay in the pocket, you're going to see a lot more sacks out of Kentucky this year.
Right.
Solid. Yeah, I agree. I'm just hoping that the D-line can just get that pressure like we've been wanting them to get.
Yeah.
Is JJ Weaver going to have that year? Is he going to have that dog year?
He'll need
get drafted high?
He needs to. I like that. He needs to.
Because, like, I feel like it was either his sophomore or junior year. I can't remember. I mean, he started off really hot. Like, I mean, he's getting like a sack and a half every game. Then he just hit a wall. And then just, like, really wasn't producing as much as he could.
I feel like when you look at the games last year, Dion looked more athletic than JJ did half the time. I mean, look at the Florida game. Dion almost picked off. Heck, he put back in coverage and almost had an interception.
Yeah.
I mean, so I really want to see JJ because I'm a huge fan of JJ, and I want to see him do really well, just like Oxendine and I think it's Rebecca. I'm probably not saying that right. But I'm fans of them, and I really want to see them do good because if they've got plenty of potential to be superstars on our team. Everybody on this roster on the defensive side has got massive potential to be All-Americans. I mean, they really do. I mean, obviously Dion is going to be an All-American. There's no doubt about that.
All right. So I know this is a total segue, but when anybody ever says All-American, like about any player, any sport, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Hulk Hogan theme song. I am a real American. Fight for the right. I just like see the Hulk mania.
I feel like
Let me tell you, brother.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Oh, that was killer.
That was pretty good, Cody.
Do it again. Hear the roar.
Let me
Bro, that was cruel.
Have you all seen the video of the little kid that does the impression of him? Have you all seen that video?
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's the most amazing video. It's awesome because he's spot on.
He went toe to toe with Hulk.
He did. It's awesome. Big Blue Crew, by the way, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love, brother.
For sure. But moving on. How about Kentucky baseball?
Yep.
I mean, just out here doing the dang thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just sweeping everybody in the regionals. I mean, just out here 10-8 versus Western Michigan, 6-1 versus Illinois, and then Indiana State 5-0 to clinch it up
Yep.
on Saturday with a 2-hour rain delay. Aiton her up.
I
Eating it
was
up.
talking about baseball. I'm very impressed on the performance. I got to watch a little bit because of work. I didn't get to watch all of them, but the way that I think the first game went kind of. I think we went up 8-0 and kind of fell apart there towards the last couple innings and kind of let it get close. But you beat a really good Illinois team the second round and a very, very good Indiana State team, by the way, who was number 14 in the country in baseball. So, and I think you got to play the first round of the Super Regionals. I think it's Oregon State, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Oregon State is. I know they're a 12 seed. Did they upset anybody?
No.
They upset anybody? Okay.
Seed in their regional, and I think they kind of breezed through their teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be a little bit of it's going to be a good matchup, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're at home, so that's a massive advantage.
Yeah.
I would really like to go to that game. I would, but
Yep, we're busy.
Yeah, we're busy.
You ain't going to work on Saturday?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Saturday. I forgot. I'm off.
Yeah. You ain't got work.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
We're me in tuxedos.
But what a lot of
we're
people
not.
realize,
we are.
We
We're not. Sorry.
You're good.
Go ahead, Jake.
In Kentucky sports, we value football. We value, of course, basketball is the king. Football is usually second. Baseball has just been kind of towards the bottom of the totem pole in Kentucky sports. A lot of their teams in the past have struggled. They've had a few good years here and there. So this is really, really high point for Kentucky. I think this is the first time that they have ever hosted a super regional.
It is.
And I think they're predicted to move on. And the College World Series, if people don't realize, the College World Series has 8 spots. It's basically the equivalent of the Final Four in basketball. So if they make the College World Series, they basically made the Final Four. So that's a huge step up in the baseball program. But in the past, there's always that one team when I watch college baseball, and of course baseball is not my spring sport, but watching college baseball, there's always that one team that everybody expects to be head and shoulders, and they get knocked out. So I'm hoping Kentucky doesn't get the the big head and think that they've got the whole thing won and get upset, especially by a team that has to travel to the East Coast and play at Lexington. So, and of course, that number 1 seed right now, Kentucky's the overall number 2. Guess who's the 1 overall?
Tennessee.
How amazing would that be in the College World Series finals? Kentucky, Tennessee.
Sorry.
Gosh,
Tennessee just. Ugh.
If we can beat Tennessee in the World Series, bro.
Man, that'd be amazing.
Hey, I will tell you. I will tell you the baseball team right now. Hey, the Cleveland Guardians. Come on, let's eat up Guards. Go Guards, baby. Can I just say I had to. I'm pumped right now. I know Jake's pumped too, man. Reds. Sorry. Sorry. Back to baseball. Back to baseball.
We were talking baseball. Shut up. Keep Haley De La Cruz's name out your mouth.
Who?
Who? Okay. Don't act like you guys wouldn't.
Jose.
So, Justin, what do you think about Kentucky baseball?
Hey, I think we've got a good shot. I know it's a best of 3 series this weekend, so I personally think Kentucky should definitely make it on. Which I don't know if you guys realize it or not, but in the Super Regionals, 5 of the 16 teams left are from the SEC. So you've got us, Tennessee, of course, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Florida. So, man, we're just let's just dominate all the sports, man. Why not?
Agree.
But I think it's pretty good.
And Kentucky, if we can how cool would it be to see a championship be brought, in Kentucky baseball, and then go out there and win like a big bowl game in football, and then win the SEC in basketball? How cool would that be?
That would be neat. It's
Be
going to be
awesome.
a very tough win in the College World Series because you're going to be playing
Oh,
some
yeah.
teams that have been there before.
Mm,
Florida is,
stout.
yeah, Florida's been there a million times, I feel like. And they know what it's like to play at that level. I don't know has Kentucky ever been to a College World Series?
Nope.
Experience matters. Experience matters. So that's not going to be easy.
Man, it
Well-
does, but if you're the Wildcats, I don't think experience matters. I think talent right now it matters.
Ugh,
Talent.
I don't know.
I don't know. I agree with you. I think experience does go a long way.
Yeah.
Experience goes a long way in any sport, by the
Agree.
way. Every sport
Not every sport.
Oh,
besides water polo.
That's what I was getting ready to say. But one thing that I did notice, like in the regionals, Kentucky really cut down the amount of runs they were allowing in the last two games. Like the Illinois game, 6-1, and then against Indiana State, ranked number 20, 5-0. That's something that I feel like Kentucky struggled with, was not allowing runs. So the pitching staff, the bullpen, and they were dogs these past two games. So if they can keep that up against Oklahoma State, or Oregon State, sorry, not Oklahoma State, Oregon State,
Yep.
I mean, the hype, once you get that momentum, man, like I know you guys said experience, and I do believe that trumps everything usually, but if a team gets hot at the right time,
mhm.
and if they just the team gets that momentum, man. Because me and Jake's had this discussion. He said, I remember one time we talked about momentum being a true thing, and he said he didn't believe it was a real thing at the time. And I was like, man, if a team gets hot at the right time, they can take the whole thing. And if Kentucky can do it, man, I'm trying to get my hopes up. But if they do get hot and continue to stay hot,
They've got to stay hot. They
Exactly.
can't have any drop off though. Which
Oh.
I think they'll make the College World Series, but once they get there, they basically have little room for error.
yeah. And sorry to cut you off there, Jake. But if you guys have any questions, give us a call at the Cats Cut call line, 859-428-7259.
That
Go
or
ahead and give
just
us a call.
type in chat. We're looking.
Buddy, we want the phone
everybody-
calls. We
Well, we want the
voice
phone
of the
calls,
nations.
but we want people to talk to us, and they probably don't feel very comfortable calling.
Why not, buddy?
I agree, Bush. Making it and playing your tail off. And they have been. They 100% have been.
That's
So,
true.
yeah. You got to
Yeah.
give them props for that. So
For sure. So, since we've talked about the Wildcats, a little bit about Kentucky football, and some basketball, we're all going to show you a little piece of memorabilia that we all like, except Justin. But his is the
Except
coolest
me.
out of us all, though. Let's be
Right.
real.
I'll have to bring
can
it
he
at some
tell
point
us?
so
Can he
believe.
tell us?
I can.
No,
tell.
we got to save
We'll
his
wait
for
for
last
it.
because that what he has is probably it's hard to top. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Can I go
So-
grab one? Can I go grab mine real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. So
Leave the
Jake,
arena and
since-
everything.
No, he's got to leave her up and get down there to get it. But Jake, since you're a guest, we'll let you go first. Let's hear about this piece of sports memorabilia you have.
Well, I actually was unaware that I would be able to be on the show until just recently. I thought that was the show, not the Kentucky show.
Yeah.
I have behind me is Browns memorabilia, and believe it or not, that was actually gifted by a Christian. It's a Clay Matthews autographed jersey. That's probably worth a decent piece of cash. So thanks to Christian, but that's what I've got.
I bet $100 you were talking about the Tim Couch football, weren't you?
You would
No.
lose.
Cody asked permission to participate.
Can I show? Can I? It's show and tell. I didn't know. I just asking the teachers.
Cody, I just want to ask, did Cats cut by you a plane so you could leave her up and get that memorabilia piece real quick? Or okay, I just want to make sure.
I got it personally signed by a man in Fayetteville.
Cody, Cody, do you care to go ahead? I'm gonna go grab mine. I got a better piece. I'll show my other one that I showed you guys before the show, but I found a cool one. Go ahead, Cody.
Okay, can I show like 3 off or 2 off?
Go ahead.
This is it's Maker's Mark. Okay, it's signed by John Calipari. Okay, I think it's really cool. It's cool. Okay, that's one. The next one is I got this Dan. Dang it. It's too bright. Hold on. This Dan Issel autographed. It's numbered out of. It's 106 out of 199. Autographed alcohol. Yes. Dan
Autographed
Issel
what?
card. It's an autographed Dan Issel card.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
All right.
gotcha.
And then I can't show you the picture of C-Rod that I've got autographed, but it's just a thing signed by C-Rod, Chris Rodriguez
Oh, that's neat.
Jr.
Awesome, cool.
I got a picture with him and everything, and he is a cool dude. Let me tell you, he's a cool dude to talk to. I will say. So that's all I got. I do have another one of these that's signed by him, but I don't want to go get it.
I'm surprised you kept that longer than a year.
Wait,
Perry signed
I
out.
have it. I have it. Wait.
God.
Oh no, this one. Okay, this one is actually signed by Rich Brooks. It's not John Calipari. It's Rich Brooks. So I got that one too, which I think is really cool. Because I think Rich Brooks is probably one of the best head coaches Kentucky has ever had. So obviously, so I mean, he never went to an SEC championship or anything like that, but
Yeah.
Are you going to keep the stuff from Coach Cal? Yes or no?
Mhm.
You're going to keep it? Okay, good deal.
And I got this football helmet.
Hey, awesome.
Good Lord.
Hey,
I didn't die.
do I need to show Christian what I brought?
No, I heard you.
No, you didn't. What
I
I
left
have?
my AirPods in. You had a Dan Issel card, John Calipari Maker's Mark, and you had another one, but I don't remember who you said.
Rich Brooks.
Rich Brooks,
Do you know who that is?
your dad. So I got mine.
Dad?
So I'll show the one that I was originally going to show. So it's just a framed picture. It's Rajon Rondo. Half of it's in Kentucky uniform. Half of it's in a Celtics uniform.
That's cool.
There's 100 of these. There's like a little coin in there from the Celtics and a coin from Kentucky. So got that. I've had that for a little bit. And then Cody's seen this one before. He remembers when I bought it. But
Oh, I didn't know it's, but yeah, I do.
Tubby Smith
I do. I
autograph.
know. I was there the day you bought it.
Yeah. So you see right here, it says $20 on it. So we went to the London flea market, and this guy, I looked at Cody. I said, "I'm gonna get it." I was like, I'm gonna offer him $10 for it. See if he'll take it. And he looks at me. I hadn't even talked to the guy yet. He goes, "I see you're looking through that box." He said, "You could take the whole box for $30." And I was like, "Even with this picture?" He goes, "Yep." And there was there's Michael Jordan, like rookie premier magazines, LeBron magazines. There's a ton of like just old school stuff like King Griffey Jr., like framed magazines, Pete Rose, like some kind of plaque for him, and a few like autographed players like Frank Thomas was in there and stuff. Cody, did you sign that picture?
I did.
that's how Cody signs his own name to all his autograph stuff. Cody, you should start doing that. You should get that What's Not card app and then get on there and start put cards, but sign them all. Like sign
Yeah,
your
I
name.
signed this Dan Issel first. I signed it.
Let me see that, Dennis. I want to see it.
I mean,
Put it
I
up to the
like that.
camera.
Well, it's too bright. I won't show it.
Light's too bright.
I'll be turning the virtual thing off. That'll probably look better. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet, bro.
Awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
I got a lot of Kentucky stuff. I just don't want to go get it.
Nice.
Am I-
Alcoholic. So on this last portion of the show, as we like to wind down, you know how we like to end it. We like to end it with a Bible verse. Who wants to go first? If nobody does, I'll go. So I guess I'll be going. Alrighty. So I have 1 Peter 5:7. It's cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. You know, getting a little older, out of all the, just moving on in life, you get a little more testy with stuff, a little more worry in life because you're starting to see all the stuff your parents told you that you would see growing up. Like, oh, you got it easy going to school and all this. You're like, yeah, okay. And then the real world hits you and stuff starts flying. And, you just get a little anxiety here and there and worry. And God says to give that to him. And, he's always going to walk right with you through everything. So, yeah, that's what I got.
I like it. Good.
So
Who's
I'll
next?
go next. 1 John 3:20-21. For if our heart condemn us, God is greater than our hearts and knows all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us, one of my favorite verses because so oftentimes we can allow guilt and shame and those type of things to just condemn us, and it hinders our prayer life and coming boldly to his throne of grace. And so it's important that we come to God as we are, but know that he's a forgiving, loving God, and he longs to hear us. But when our heart condemn us, Scripture also says there's no condemnation of those in Christ Jesus. So if you believe in him and live for him, you don't have to allow shame and guilt to rob you of those opportunities and prayer and spending time with him.
I like it. Sorry to cut you off there. But after we finish this segment, Justin, I want you to tell about your memorabilia thing. I left my head spacey. I don't remember stuff sometimes when I leave a topic. It just so we'll get back to that after this one. But whoever,
no worries, dude.
So
Jake,
Jake,
you
Cody.
go. It don't matter.
I'll go next. We tend to go through, look for Bible verses that tag along with the times that we're going through in each of our lives. One that I am really honed in on is Joshua 1:9. Justin actually spoke this Bible verse over me years back when I was going through a pretty rough time. Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. No matter what time of your life that you're in, no matter what your future holds, God's always there with you.
That's good, Jake.
I like what you said about, certain Bible verses, whatever we go.
Mm-hmm.
What are you laughing at?
You went, I'm sorry. I could just, I'm sorry. I'm just going to mute.
I like what you said about, there's Bible verses that, whatever we're dealing with at the current time, there's certain Bible verses that really speak to us individually. And, I've been saying a lot of Bible verses that have been encouraging because I've been needing a lot of encouragement. But I'm doing Psalm 46:1-3. It says, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, through the earth give away, and the mountains fall into the earth of the sea. Though its waters roar and foam, and the mountains quake with their surging. I feel like that just is telling me that, like God's always with you. God, any kind of trouble you deal with, like Christian said, when you get a little older, there's a lot of stuff that'll tempt you to get you to turn away from God and walk the other direction. But, God's always going to be there. He's always going to be our refuge through every storm that you deal with, through every trouble, everything that's the devil talking in your ear, everything. He's always going to be there to help you and to keep you safe. So
That's good, Cody.
Awesome.
Y'all did great.
you did great. You
No,
did great.
buddy. I can't talk good. I didn't graduate preschool. It took me 3 years.
Sorry.
What was that?
He don't.
I was hoping he was upside down. Like, I was so hoping he was upside down. You're going to hear him fall in a second. But, Justin, let's hear about that memorabilia piece.
Sure, man. We have rather a Cody, you're killing me, man. A autographed basketball of Michael Jordan. So,
Dude.
yeah, I need to bring that and show that. So, but
Can you
we've
tell
had
me
it
how you
for
got
probably. Oh, we bought it. You're talking 20 plus years ago. So but
when he was irrelevant?
Yeah. Michael Jordan is.
Back when he was still considered the greatest of all time.
Okay, we're not.
We are
having
not
that
getting this
conversation.
discussion.
We're not having that
getting-
conversation, Mr. Cleveland
What?
people.
What? Dude, all I'm saying is you
Well,
can
I get-
have greats. I mean, I'm not saying people can't coexist, like there's great people that played back in the 60s. There's great people that played in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And, I mean, the game's just getting, as people get more, the game just becomes a faster pace. People become, like,
They're all a bunch
bigger,
of
faster,
wussies.
stronger.
Bunch of crybabies.
All I'm saying is they couldn't shoot back in the day. But I'm not dissing on MJ, what he did. Nobody will ever be able to recreate that in the NBA. It's going to be hard. I think a lot of guys that are going to be considered all-time greats won't even have more than 2 to 3 rings. Like this next generation.
Kobe's
Because-
better than LeBron.
Okay. But no, like this next generation of ball, if you've noticed, like a lot of these teams are like, they're so good. But like last year, Denver wins the NBA championship. This year, they got beat in the second round.
I need to apologize about my pick that the Timberwolves and Karl Anthony Towns, being a Kentucky boy, weren't getting a ring because they absolutely was embarrassing in the Western Conference Finals, in my opinion.
Well, if we're going to talk about the NBA, who's winning the finals? Because I
Mavs.
swear, if any of you guys say Boston, I'm leaving.
I've
Jake's
no
having a party.
What you did?
It's gonna Mavs in 6. Mavs in 6.
Are they predicting Porzingis to come back?
It don't matter. They got prime MJ on that team. Nobody's stopping Luka right now. I'm telling you.
Cody, are you in Jake's house right now?
I am. I snuck over real quick. I snuck over just really quick.
You know what? I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm going with you, Christian. I'm gonna go Mavs in 6. PJ Washington, he's getting a ring.
I hate that too because he was on my team, but I'm happy for him. Happy for him that we got rid of him because I didn't.
Justin, you know what I forgot?
Can I get number 6 with
No, sir. You're not allowed. We forgot about the La Familia thing. You mind just telling us about that real quickly?
Yeah, we'll close on that real quick. Sure. So if you guys are not aware, the basketball tournament is coming up this summer. So they've been doing this for a few years now, where they give the team that wins the championship $1 million. And so the La Familia, which is our Kentucky alumni, has formed its team this year. It's the first time they've ever been in it. So as of right now, our roster is James Young, Willie Cauley-Stein, Deron Lamb, Eric Bledsoe, Reed Travis, Marcus Teague, Andrew Harrison, Daniel Orton, and Grady. So some Kentucky players coming back to play for Lexington. Most of these guys now are either retire from the NBA or playing overseas or something like that. But if that's but it's going to be July 19th to the 24th, so be an opportunity if you guys can go catch them there in Lexington. Some of these guys from that we have celebrated in the past few years coming back to Rupp to play. So
Okay.
go check it out.
Yes, this is a Pineville hoodie, but I got it for free at work. I went to Bell County. I know. But yes, that's the story on the hoodie I'm wearing. It's a.
I think he's from Middlesboro.
Oh, is he?
Sports Center. Yeah, he's from Middlesboro.
Yeah, I went to Bell County.
That's
I didn't
where
go to
went.
Pineville.
But yeah, that La Familia thing, that's super cool.
Yeah.
We'll all have to load up and go to a game because I think that'd be
I think
kind of
it'd be
cool
fun.
to watch. Even worse.
Whoa! Come on, we don't even play Middlesboro anymore.
But yeah, we'll all have to load up and go and watch the former Cats. Before we go, who like just quick answer, who do you guys think will be the star of that team? Be that dude. Anybody?
Jaxson.
I don't know that there'll be one. Truly,
I agree.
I agree with Jake.
Okay. Awesome. Great way to end the episode, guys. Real enthused. But thank you guys for tuning in.
I sure was. Bush.
Yeah,
We
was
watched
a
our
football
highlights.
star.
If you didn't watch last podcast episode, it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Y'all can go rewatch it. We watched some of my football highlights. Kentucky Sports Center. You can go watch them. They're really bad.
He's a 5-star.
I'm a 5-star too.
It still is.
You almost transferred to Bell High. Well, why didn't you? Come on, man.
You still got time.
And
What? There's always a year of eligibility somewhere. But thank you guys for tuning in. Go follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube and go check us out on 3 Kit Kat commercials. Yeah, that was right. But go follow us and rate us 5 stars if you want to. This is not peer pressure, but please do it.
You will rate
on
us
Spotify and
5 stars.
3 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I went blank
You
there.
will rate us 5 stars.
But thanks again, and as always, go Cats.
Go Cat.
Go Cats.
Yeah!